Good evening, and welcome to the June 9th, 2026 meeting of the Gloucester City Council. This public meeting of the City Council is recorded on Zoom with a link that is posted on the agenda. If you are calling in on a phone, you can press *9 to request to speak. If you are watching on a computer or device, there is a raised hand button that you can tap or press to request to speak. Please use either of these options during oral communications and public hearings to be recognized to speak. If technical difficulties arise and the Zoom link is interrupted during an in-person hybrid meeting of the City Council and a quorum is present, the meeting may continue after efforts have been made to reestablish the link. The minute shall note the interruption. It is the finding of the City of Gloucester that no individual should be denied equal treatment or opportunity because of their age, ancestry, color, disability, including intellectual and developmental mental disability, family status, immigration status, gender identity or expression, military status, marital status, national origin, race, religion, sex, or sexual orientation. This evening we have with us Ward 2 Councilor Dylan Benson, Ward 3 Councilor Marjorie Grace, Ward 4 Councilor Francesco Majota. We have Ward 1 Councilor Scott Memard. We have Councilor at Large Patty Ann Page, Councilor at Large Hannah Kimberly, Councilor at Large Jason Groh, Ward 5 Councilor and Council Vice President Sean Nolan, and I am Tony Gross, Councilor at Large and Council President. With us tonight, we have also city staff. We have Grace Poirier, our city clerk. We have Kelly Dolan, our chief administrative officer. We have Connor McCorkle, who is our chief financial officer. We have Mayor Lundberg. We have Donna Hurley, who is the head of the Department of Public Health. We also have, from the school committee, we have Chairperson Kathy Clancy, Bill Melvin, Heather Daigle, and Melissa Texera Prince. Online, we also have the DPW Director, Mike Hale. And we have Kenny Costa, our auditor is also remote, and our fire chief, Eric Smith, is also remote. I said Mayor Lundberg. They're whispering in my ear that I didn't. I thought I did. Yes. All right. Let us all stand for the flag salute. Councilor Kimberly.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next order of business, Madam Clerk.
Oral communications.
Oral communications. The public shall have an opportunity at every regularly scheduled meeting to be heard under oral communications on matters not appearing on the agenda. Oral communication shall allow any resident and or property owner and or business owner who has a request or complaint of any nature relative to city business to appear before the council, make their statement without debate, and the City Council refer matters to the office of the mayor. Persons speaking on oral communication shall be limited to 3 minutes each. Anyone in the building? Oral communication, something not on the agenda.
Barnaby Prendergast, 61 Fernald Street. I'll try and be brief. I've got 4 quick things that I'd like to bring to the attention of the mayor or ask for consideration. The first is, although I know money is very tight, I'd be grateful if the mayor could ask the Traffic Commission to take a look at possibilities for seasonal speed bumps. There are a lot of roads that people just go too fast on. My Councillor Sean Nolan very kindly explained the unlikeliness of this, but I think it would be great if looking forward, we could look into it at least. The second thing is also to do with speed. There's a missing 20 mile an hour speed limit sign on East Main, just past Rocky Neck. I've been working out there. I drive a big van, and I keep meeting people coming at me at 30 plus miles an hour in a street that's maybe 15 feet wide. It's not ideal. It was taken out when the construction started at that place. So anyway, thirdly, at some point soon, I think the community really needs to have a conversation about a Proposition 2.5 override. We can't carry on with the situation where the choice is cut services or what. You know, we really need to take a long-term look at where we are. The inflation is eating away at city finances like Pac-Man, and we are not going to be able to survive with the current situation, with energy costs rising, wars, 2 fairly major wars going on, which are going to carry on affecting those energy prices at least for another 12 months, probably more. And finally, I would like to express some heartfelt gratitude for the decision to paint the Pride crosswalk outside City Hall. I think it's... It's a symbolic gesture that I feel is very important to this community. It is not a divisive thing. It is showing that we are inclusive, not just tolerant. Inclusion is much harder than tolerance, and it's good that we do it. So, thank you.
Thank you. Something not on the agenda?
Is the school budget on the agenda?
Yes. Name and address for the record, please.
Hi, my name is Susan Quine, and I'm 20 Leonard Street. Good evening. I'm here to ask you for some transparency in the issue of Jersey barriers on River Road that take 20 feet of parking spaces in an area that is a lot of elderly community, and the one precious commodity that we have is parking. And the owner who requested that the parking be obstructed did so 4 years ago, and the Jersey barriers have been there. This is the 4th summer coming up, and there's been no work done on the seawall. So my question is, how do we balance what's best for one individual versus what's best for the entire community? So I'm hoping that someone can address this issue for me, and I appreciate your time, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
We're in the public hearing. It's on the agenda.
Ian Vincent, 449 Washington Street. I would also like to address this issue with the speeds on Washington Street. Lately, they've gone increasingly fast, and over the last years, we've seen a dramatic increase in speed. We're thankful for this speed sign being put in over by the school, but we're also noticing that people will slow down, and then as soon as they go beyond it, they're speeding up, and at times honking their horns or getting very aggressive with us as we try to pull into our houses. My wife and I would like to suggest install those crosswalk signs that the town of Rockport is using, and we are willing to support the city with a $500 donation to help go to those 2 crosswalk signs. We're recommending one by Richdale's and also one on the crosswalk by Seall Street. I also have spoken to the police in Gloucester. They've been extremely supportive and helpful. Though the lack of pulling cars over and giving them citations is something that if we don't punish people for speeding, they're just going to continue to speed. And so we should be punishing those actions if they are speeding in 25s and they're going a lot faster. So, thank you.
Thank you. I see it. Anyone else in the room? Okay, we have one remote. You're in.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Mary Ann Albert Boucher, 93 Mount Pleasant Avenue. I've come before you before, and I'm going to come before you again. I'm turned to Mayor Lundberg, and I had the pleasure today of spending a short amount of time down at Niles Beach, and it was exceptionally clean. It was gorgeous. There was also a DPW worker down there with a claw and the yellow bag walking around picking up the very few littered items. But I notice again and again and again and again today young mothers with their little toddlers walking up the ramp and going behind the cars and through the traffic to get to the porta potties. And Scott Memhard, I'm asking you to please work with the mayor on the DPW to get a granite slab put back in the area of the porta potties for especially the young children and the elderly so that they do not have to travel where the cars are pulling in, backing out, and traveling, going in both directions. It is dangerous, and it's just an accident waiting to happen. But I also want to, again, thank the DPW and all the city workers. The beach is stunningly beautiful, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, next order of business, Madam Clerk.
The consent agenda.
Before we get to that, just everybody in the room, the public hearing is later in the meeting. There were agendas. I don't know if there was enough on the chairs back there, so that we're going through our normal progression of our agenda. So we deal with this business, and then we get to it pretty shortly. Anyone like to remove anything off the consent agenda? We have a motion. Microphone.
I move that we accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Gross, seconded by Councilor Memard. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, 9-0. Next order of business, Madam Clerk.
The June 4th Budget and Finance Standing Committee report.
Councilor Memard.
Yes, thank you. We have a few items from our meeting last Thursday on the Budget and Finance Committee. The first is a memorandum from our Veteran Services Director requesting acceptance of donations in the total amount of $200. On a motion by myself, seconded by Councilor Page, Budget and Finance Committee voted 3 in favor, 0 opposed, to recommend that the City Council accept various cash donations under Mass General Law, Chapter 44, 53A, to support veteran services in the amount of $200 from the following members and business partners in our community, whom are Ed Camo, and our great gratitude to Ed Camo. And I so move.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Memard, seconded by Councilor Page. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, 9-0.
Second item at Budget and Finance last week was a memorandum from the DPW Director, Mike Hale, regarding a review and recommendations for the term of the new solid waste and single-stream recycling collection, disposal, and processing contract. And this is just to allow us to have an extra term of proposal of 5 years with 2-year extensions. Budget and Finance voted on a motion by myself, seconded by Councilor Page, 3 in favor, 0 opposed, in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 308, Section 12B, to approve to enter into a contract for solid waste and single-stream recycling collection, disposal, processing services for a proposed term of 5 years with 2-year options, and I so move.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Memard, seconded by Councilor Page. Discussion. Councilor Groh, we do have DPW Director Hale is with us. If anyone.
Yeah, we can have him. I was just going to clarify.
Mike, would you like to enlighten the other councilors? You gave it to us at BNF, but
I just wanted to assure people that this wasn't the contract being signed. We have a long way to go before we get.
Hopefully Mike will explain.
Sure. Can you hear me, councilors?
Yes.
So under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30B, Section 12B, in order for the city to enter into a contract for any longer than 3 years, the city council must authorize by unanimous vote the ability to do so. And so that's what the ask is here, is to enter into a contract longer than 3 years, so we can forward the process for the next trash contract. Relatively procedural, happens frequently, public works contracts, that, the benefit is in the duration of a contract. Short term, not good; long term, better. And they're not so long. Back in the day, you might find 20-year contracts. Not anymore. It's too volatile. So you see much shorter contracts, 5 years with a couple extension years.
Thank you, Mike. Any other discussion? I'd just like to also note that this puts you to a better advantage in negotiating a better contract by being able to offer a longer term contract. All right, anyone else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, 9-0.
Item number 3 on the agenda from Budget and Finance is a memorandum from our fire chief, Chief Smith, regarding the ambulance service and billing and collection policy. There are 2 motions. The first, on a motion by myself, seconded by Councilor Page, Budget and Finance voted 3 in favor, 0 opposed, to recommend that the City Council approve the Gloucester Fire Department billing and collection policy as presented by the Captain EMS Coordinator and as approved by the Mayor, and further to approve the proposed fee schedule attached to and incorporated into the policy effective July 1st, 2026, and I so move.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Memard, seconded by Councilor Page. Chief Smith, would you like to address any of this portion on this motion?
Sure. This is very similar to all the previous years that we've done, and we're in basically a 5-year cycle of bringing forward any increases in EMS revenue billing. This is kind of the standard that we've set, similar in other municipalities that are doing this as well. Private industry may differ and change their rates at a different time, but for us, it doesn't make a lot of sense to make small changes year over year. It just keeps our billing rate. It's too difficult for all the folks that touch it to kind of keep up. So this kind of keeps things stable at the same level of fees at this time. There is a change and increase to the write-off ability based on the income-based write-off ability baked into this policy for those that can't afford to pay those bills, that the city's able to write that off and relieve them of that debt because of the low income status. And in addition, there is the bad debt, as it's called, referred to, which is uncollectible debt that is aged and it's sitting on the city's books kind of in a negative way. And it's gone through its paces. Our billing company does an outstanding job collecting every penny that they can. And for the accounts that this closes out, if they're in litigation, for instance, car accidents and so forth, and things that end up in litigation and aren't being settled, if they do settle that and they do pay that bill, then we still have the ability to accept that income. And then the other side of it is that the Medicare, Medicaid rates are lower than what our billing rates are at. They pay a fixed amount. We're not allowed legally to do, secondary billing or balance billing to our residents and customers that have used our service. So that is the largest portion, or at least a good portion of what you'll see in those accounts that are being written off. And so this is a yearly cycle. This process goes back to the very first account that was aged that we didn't write off in the last cycle, all the way up into the line that we kind of draw in the sand this year before we presented this to the mayor, and now for your approval.
Thank you. Any more discussion on this particular motion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, 9-0.
And the second part of this, as Chief Smith has referred to, relates to the write-off of uncollectible outstanding ambulance billings. And on a motion by myself, seconded by Councilor Page, Budget and Finance Committee voted 3 in favor, 0 opposed, to recommend that the city authorize the write-offs of $725,495.53 in uncollectible outstanding ambulance billing. And I so move.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Memard, seconded by Councilor Page. Discussion? I just wanted to be noted that these are, many of them are people who just can't afford to pay the ambulance fee, and they have the misfortune of being, requiring the services. Some of it is people who are paying their health insurance, but the health insurance, for some reason or another, has denied payment, so we do not get it. But it is a significant amount. It's $750,000, and I just, and every year we seem to run into this. But the people have to be taken care of. All right, any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, 9-0.
And the fourth and final item from Budget and Finance for your consideration tonight is a memorandum from the Harbor Master in a 2026 supplemental appropriation number 21, and this is in the amount of $174,143, and it's for the allocation of fiscal year 25 certified retained earnings to the Waterways Stabilization Fund. And on a motion by myself, seconded by Councilor Page, Budget and Finance voted 3 in favor, 0 opposed, to recommend that the City Council approve Supplemental Appropriation 2026 SA 21 in the amount of $174,143 from the Waterways Enterprise Fund, undesignated fund balance, retained earnings, or free cash, account number as noted, to the Waterways Stabilization Fund, account number as noted, and this is for the purpose of allocating fiscal year 2025 certified retained earnings. And I so move.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Memard, seconded by Councilor Page. Discussion. Does anybody need any clarification on what this is about? This is just within their budget, moving it to another account. All those in favor? Roll call.
Councilor Kimberly.
Yes.
Councilor Majota.
Yes.
Councilor Memhard.
Aye.
Councilor Nolan.
Aye.
Councilor Page.
Aye.
Councilor Benson.
Aye.
Councilor Grace.
Aye.
Councilor Gross.
Aye.
Councilor Grow.
Aye.
The vote is 9 in favor, 0 opposed. The motion passes.
Next order of business, Madam Clerk.
The June 1st Ordinances and Administration Standing Committee report.
There are no items under this heading tonight. Thank you.
Next order of business, Madam Clerk.
The June 3rd Planning and Development Standing Committee report.
Councilor Grow.
Thank you very much. We have 4 items for information, nothing for action. Special Council Permit 2026-005, the application of Seaside Legal Solutions PC on behalf of the owner Dominic Realty Trust asked for their application to be withdrawn without prejudice. We accommodated that, so they've withdrawn their application. And then we have 3 special event applications that we approved. The first one, write these down, put them in your calendar, Magtoberfest on October 11th, 2026. Special events, 26-25, the concerts on the Boulevard on July 3rd and September 5th, with rain dates on July 5th and September 7th. That's following Horrible's Parade and the whatever we do on Labor Day. And number 4, the special event application was the street closures for the Harbor Loop Summer Concert Series on July 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th, and August 6th, 13th, 20th, and 27th, with rain dates of September 3rd and 10th, 2026. So get out and enjoy.
Thank you. And here we are. Next order of business, Madam Clerk.
Public hearing 2026, number 19. Public hearing on the FY27 proposed budget, FY27 mayor's recommended budget.
I'll open the public hearing. And would anyone like to speak in favor? In favor?
I'm sure you're in favor. Are you going to speak in favor? That would be great. Oh, okay. Very good. Good evening, City Council. Thank you for hosting this public hearing on the mayor's budget for 2027. The first thing that I would like to say is when we had the public hearing at school committee, We had 42 individuals speak to the school committee about the budget. And I have to say that was an incredible showing of civic support. And looking around tonight, we've got even more than that here wanting to speak about our budget. Our budget and our whole process just gets better when people speak up, and I commend everyone who's here tonight to participate with us in this. Brief history about the budget. As you know, our ordinance and city charter requires that the mayor deliver a budget, a balanced budget, by the way, to the city council somewhere around the beginning of May. And the city council has the budget for 45 days, during which time the council does its due diligence on the entirety of the budget. Again, mindful of the fact that we have to submit a balanced budget to the state at the end of the whole process. Our revenues are pretty much fixed. Our ability to raise revenues is really constrained by Proposition 2.5, and I know you all know that because you've been through this many times before, as have I, sitting over on your side of the table. This is the first time I've been up here presenting for the city. But we presented the budget on May 5th. The City Council has taken it under advisement. Budget and Finance has held its hearings with all the departments, including the school department, and one by one, you've gone through each department and tested what the proposal is, what the assumptions are, and most importantly, can we do the job with the budget that we've proposed for the fire department and the police department and the harbor master's department and the school department. And that is what the city council is doing now at this point. You are the ones who can be the judge of whether we got it right. And so tonight you'll have the public hearing, and then next week you will have a chance to vote on whether or not the budget meets all of the requirements and all of the assessments that you have done. All departments have had a very detailed role in making the budget. We do department by department. The department heads come and make a proposal to the mayor, and they include, all of the personnel necessary to accomplish the tasks, equipment necessary, all the other expenses, and then we work with each department one by one, and we come up with the conclusions that are in the mayor's budget. With the school department, it's different, as you all know. The school department page in the mayor's budget is one page, and there's one line only, and that is the numerical total of the budget. How that money is applied is totally up to the school committee and the superintendent or the management of the schools. That is not up to the mayor, and the mayor did not make any kind of recommendations about jobs or any kind of other expenses. We just put the number forward that we would be able to support. So during the process of the city council having its 45 days, one of the natural reasons that we do that, and the charter does that, is to give everyone a chance to weigh in. And we have had more weighing in on this budget than any that I can remember, and that has all contributed to it being a better budget. During that process, we proposed a number for the school department that was $1.2 million more than last year. And during the 45-day process, we have increased that by another $300,000. We were bearing in mind all of the inputs that we got from all over the place to make the schools better, to take into consideration what actually makes the schools better. When you approve the budget, whatever number is there, you can be assured that the school committee and the professionals who run the schools, they're the best people in the whole world to make the determination of how to deliver our educational mission with whatever money that you allocate for the schools. And I can assure you from this, when I take off my mayor's hat and put on my school committee hat, we will do everything we can to make that mission work no matter what the amount that you allocate for the schools. So thank you for that. And with that, I can go on for my 20 minutes, but I won't, because I want to let everyone else who's here have a chance to weigh in on this very important matter. Thank you for your considerations, and good luck.
We'll open it up to speaking in favor and to speaking in opposition of the budget that's presented to the city from the mayor's office. And you'll get 3 minutes each. Name and address.
Dan Graham, 1 Bickford Way. I don't want to speechify tonight because I'm just exhausted from doing this every year. I'm an educator, I'm a parent, and I'm a taxpayer. A level budget simply means it's all pie in the sky to say that these excellent school committee members can do what we can with what we got. Right now, my gas costs for my car have gone up 40%. I still need to go to work every day, and I don't get to make that choice to be level in my travel for work. These guys don't have a choice to say, well, we're going to do the best we can with $5. We got 2 teachers and 700 kids in a classroom. It's shameful that this community refuses to invest in education when it is literally build not for today alone, but for tomorrow as well. What are we investing in? So rather than speechify, I'm going to be direct. I like Mayor Verga. He's actually a friend of mine. He's a good guy. And Verga lost his position because he was fighting against the teacher contract, because this community stood up and said it believes in education. My daughter is a 5th-generation Gloucester resident in our house. Her family are educators, principals at Beeman, people who are on school committee, people who fought for this city's education of our kids. Every culture and history that had a dark age was a result of the lack of literature, reading, and education. So what is Gloucester going to do right now? Are we going to stand up for our most precious resource? Are we going to look to our future? Let me be blunt. I'm a social worker. You guys just made a great decision to take people in poverty and say we're going to let go of 725,000, was it? That's 8 teachers of the 22 we lost. I have 600 kids in my school who now don't have EL education, who don't have opportunities for reading enrichment. We right now, the reason this country has a WWE World Wrestling Entertainment person running our Department of Education is because we don't educate. We are entering idiocracy, and I cannot believe that the community I love is valuing anything more than our children.
Okay, all right, thank you. I'd like to just remind you all that when you clap during their talk, you're taking their time away.
So my name is Sean Ryan, 110 Prospect Street. I wanted to run up here before I got a little too hot. I think I've been watching this kind of remotely from a distance. And I think we need to basically change tact and actually figure out ways to actually raise the money. So, all right, say we have a $5 billion, $10 million deficit, and say we can't raise property taxes. Fine. People brought up speeding. Have a speeding assessment, $400 for speeding in the summer. If you get arrested in the summer, another $450 assessment for being found guilty. A lot of upscale communities have littering fines, from $1,500 to $2,500 to $5,000 in 30 days of community service. Again, that's a way to generate money without, and it'll be, and the revenue will come from people that are actually violating laws. So you're not penalizing anybody with taxes. If you don't want to pay the fine, just don't get arrested. So, but there's other ways to make money. It's an oceanfront community. $200 maybe you can have a private reservation, a spot on the beach, and a parking space. We basically on a beautiful piece of property in a wealthy state. And we can't make another $10 million somehow? It's kind of embarrassing, honestly. It's easy to do. $200, basically times like 500 people, that's like, it doesn't take that much. So I think we all good people here. We all want the city to basically prosper. We all want this to work out. Let's put our heads together. Let's just make the money. So again, it's a different tact, I know, but I just thought I'd throw that out there. All right. Good luck.
from Wolf Scale, and I live at 2 Hillside.
Oh, no, do not give your address.
No,
And I think it probably should be high school students mostly, but go ahead. I understand. I'm just trying to protect them.
At our school, we have a program called Math Olympiads. At our school, we have a program called Math Olympiads. Math Olympiads is for advanced math students. We are losing funding for Math Olympiads. We are having to imagine a school with more students and less teachers. We need people in charge to fund our clubs like band and Math Olympiads. I hope that our leaders can help us in our time of need.
My name is Alexis Geary. I'm a junior at Gloucester High School. I'm here to express my concern regarding the proposed budget as it currently stands. Teachers do much more than just teach math equations and essay writing. They provide necessary protection and support to kids who need it. They help guide young people towards becoming the best possible versions of themselves. I myself would not be here today if it weren't for some of my teachers. On top of all of that, they teach us how to think for ourselves. I've said it before and I will say it again. An undereducated youth is a vulnerable and a dangerous youth. At the last meeting I spoke at, I brought up the mayor's attempts to deflect the blame for the cuts on Superintendent Lummis. I brought up how those positions would not need to be cut if we had a level budget to begin with. Later at that same meeting, the mayor tried to deflect again. It's time to take responsibility for the citizens of the city and our students. We deserve an education, and it is up to all of you. I urge all of you, especially Mayor Lundberg, make the right choice. We deserve a level budget. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Bill Melvin. I'm the Vice Chair of the Gloucester School Committee, 461 Western Ave, Gloucester, Massachusetts.
Bill, you got to talk into the microphone.
Yeah. Thank you. First of all, thank you for your efforts to help secure the additional $300,000 for our schools. And thank you also for making our paraprofessionals whole with the $150,000 one-time payment that they earned through the work that they do each day with our students, and also by being pretty tough negotiators. They deserve every penny of that $150,000, and although we won't be going out for ice cream tonight, I do, and I think I can speak for the entire school committee, appreciate their work. I've been an hourly worker most of my adult life, and I understand the value of being recognized. Having said that, among all the ballyhoo and congratulations centered on nearing a balanced budget, let us not lose sight of the fact that in 3 of the last 4 years, our schools have either cut positions because of budget shortfalls or have worked through a prolonged strike by our educators. Let us not lose sight of the fact that just last week it was questioned by some that all 19.7 positions we had to cut in 2004 had been backfilled. They haven't. And with the projected 18.5 that we're looking at under the proposed budget tonight, we'll have lost 38.2 positions since June of 2024. Let us not lose sight of the fact that 1 of 4 of our students comes to school every day with a certified and documented learning disability. And let us not lose sight of the fact that 64% of our students walk through the doors of our 7 schools from a high-needs home, meaning that they are receiving some sort of social services, they're on an IEP, where they have needs dictated by a home life that might be less than ideal. And lastly, let us not lose sight of the fact that it is cheaper for us to hire a new educator to educate our highest need students with their peers in our schools than it is to send them out of district to meet their educational needs. Let's not lose sight of that despite our ability to organically grow and cultivate in-house programs for some of our highest need learners to the tune of reducing that number of students from 75 to 53 over the last 2 years, The cost has gone up over $1 million. These are simply the facts. You might not like them. You might think we need to go back to a model of education from yesteryear, but those are the facts. And with those facts comes responsibility. Collectively, we need to meet our obligations and our responsibilities. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Vanessa Lindberg. I live at 274 Western Ave. This will be a little bit non-traditional in the sense that Esther would like to speak for me and my position as the multilingual learner liaison at GHS, and she only speaks Spanish. So I will attempt to interpret in real time.
Using up her time.
Okay. Go ahead.
Buenas tardes a todos. Estoy aquí para apoyar a la maestra Vanessa, ya que hay muchas familias hispanas que la necesitamos. En la escuela es una persona fundamental.
I'm here to support the position of Ms. Vanessa, as there are many multilingual learners, Latinos, and from different countries that she helps and supports.
Ya que habemos familias hispanas que necesitamos del apoyo de ella, tanto como los niños en general que van a la high school.
There are many students who need her support, many specifically Hispanic students who need her support in the high school and more.
Por la cual he visto que ha desempeñado un buen trabajo ella y es una buena maestra para apoyar a las personas.
She has developed a good job, a good work ethic, and also supports us. Thank you. Gracias.
Gracias.
My name is Vanessa Lindberg. I am the Multilingual Learner Liaison at GHS. I'm the eliminated MLL for GHS. My position has developed intentionally, instinctively, and compassionately to support the engagement and belonging of GHS multilingual learners and their families. I have participated in many significant trainings and workshops, including a partnership with an organization called the Equity Imperative, whose goal it was to support family engagement by providing jobs in the schools for ML family members. A meaningful project which culminated in a DESI presentation and a path to employment. I have undergone trainings with teen mental health first aid and have intern trained ML students in Spanish to be certified in teen mental health first aid, adapting the trainings to more ideally fit our ML student population. I'm also certified to instruct CPR and first aid in Spanish. These certifications are by far not the most important part of my work. My work is connection. My work is belonging. It is understanding and ever curious. My work is building trusting relationships. My work is knowing what the t-shirt says and what not to say when we call home. My work is advocating. It is relentless. It is securing safety for unaccompanied immigrant youth. It's representation. My work is sometimes putting my foot in my mouth. It's part of the fight. My work is pronouncing and writing names carefully and correctly so each individual knows that their name matters. My work is reading between the lines. It's in the details. And inspiring engagement through understanding. My work is learning some Portuguese and a few words of Quechua, the indigenous language from the highlands of north central Guatemala, the only currently and robustly represented indigenous dialect in our district, so that our indigenous families feel seen and heard, valued and respected. My work is crumbling the monolith, its representation, and mental health. I am a curated lifeline it would be reckless to cut. My entire focus is belonging, as from its fertile soil, success is born. I assert that growing my position to include middle school support would result in greater high school success and graduation rates. Si agua no cae, maíz no crece.
Hello, Council. My name is Madison Jewell. I'm a graduating senior from Gloucester High School. I come to you today with a proposition on how to increase our budget in order to support the Gloucester education and all of our students. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, 10% of Gloucester homes are considered seasonal residencies. Mayor Mamdani of New York City has recently put in a new legislation increasing the taxes on second homes in the city. I believe we should do the same thing in Gloucester. This would increase the revenue of the city and would make up for the 8 months of the year that summer residents are not contributing to our local economy. I believe our public education is undeniably important, and we should do whatever possible to support our teachers, students, nurses, and schools. Lastly, I ask for you to look again behind you to the inscription on the wall. Build not for today alone, but for tomorrow as well. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Hello, my name is Olivia Hogan-Lopez. I live in 7 Seattle Street, and I graduated from Gloucester High School 4 years ago. I'm currently a recent graduate from Harvard, and I'm speaking to you today briefly because I would like to credit most of my academic success towards Gloucester High School and the Gloucester education system that we have here. And I want to talk to you because the Gloucester that I know is a Gloucester that values its youth, that gives us the resources we need to go so far, to go to places like Harvard, or even just to the normal jobs that we're so used to every day. And my question to you is, how can you expect our students to perform and our teachers to perform for them when we are so limited in resources with this budget? I ask that you look towards teachers with empathy in a way that I have not viewed in much of the news that I've read, including with recent protests by teachers. I hope that you can consider their position and consider the economy in the state that it is, and recognize that, again, as we build for tomorrow, our students need an education that is whole and that can only be provided by teachers who have the resources that are necessary to them. So I just want to say thank you all again, and I'd like to thank all the teachers here today who are standing up for what they deserve. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anita Burns, and I am a junior at the Gloucester High School. And I am here today because I am deeply concerned for the proposed budget cuts that are resulting in the loss of many teachers. When people look at budget, they see numbers. As a student, I see people. We see the teachers who arrive early in the morning to ensure their students have the best education. We see teachers who stay after school to tutor us, coach us, advise clubs, write recommendations, and support us through difficult times. We see the teachers who make learning exciting and who encourage us to believe in oneself. These cuts are not just about reducing expenses, they are taking away opportunities from students. Every teacher who is cut means larger classes, less individual attention, fewer course offerings, and fewer resources for students. It means that students who need extra help will not get it. It means that teachers who are already working incredibly hard will be asked to do more with less support. As students, I can tell you that the relationship with teachers matter. They are often the people who inspire us to work harder, pursue our goals, and overcome challenges. They notice when a student is struggling. They celebrate our successes. They help us shape our futures. Without them, I wouldn't be the person standing in front of you today. If these positions are eliminated, the impact will be felt in every classroom, every hallway, and every student's educational experience. I understand the budget is difficult. I understand that tough decisions have to be made, but I ask you to remember what is at stake. Education is not just another expense. It is an investment into the future of every student. When we cut teachers, we are cutting the quality of education. We are cutting opportunities. We are cutting support systems that students rely on every day. I go to work with the elementary students after school. These kids are eager to learn and eager to grow. These students are the future of Gloucester, and if these cuts go through, these kids will not be able to get the education they deserve and need. And the future of Gloucester will be negatively impacted. Please do not balance this budget on the backs of school teachers who make our schools stronger. Thank you.
Thank you.
Noam Graham, 1 Bickford Way. And I mean, I don't have anything to add to what these incredible people are saying, but they're proving their point. The young people of this town are worth so much investment, and a level budget is the least we can ask for them. They deserve so much more. And I'm going to piggyback on a couple of the other wonderful proposals that I think what really is on the table right here is we need more creative will to generate income. And huge second to the different taxation structure. That's internationally and nationally a well-known thing to be able to have a different tax structure for second homes that are not occupied for 6 months out of the year. And there's lots of little things we can do. I don't understand entirely the process of paying overtime for folks who are doing traffic duty, but that cost could 100% be passed on to the building that's requiring these kind of things to happen. Yep, okay, so you've got answers for me there. But I think that that's something, and seeing what the youth are bringing to the table right now, we need a youth council to help us generate ideas for how we are going to increase the inflow of cash, because I get it. I run a household. I have unexpected costs. Healthcare going up 16.9%. That's not on you all, but we have to face that. And again, it cannot be on the backs of our most important, most vulnerable citizens, including our multilingual learners who are losing an unconscionable amount of services, our gifted students, and all the students in between. None of them should have to be paying this price. It's up to us to figure out how we meet that need. And I know we can do it, Gloucester. We love a good challenge. So let's step up and come up with some good ideas. And like I said, I've heard some amazing ones tonight. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dawn Leone. I live at 110 Prospect Street, Apartment 7, here in Gloucester. I want to take a moment and talk to you about inclusion. I am not coming to you as an educator tonight. I am coming to you as a parent. Many of you have heard me talk about my son and his growth through his almost 11 years in the Gloucester Public Schools. When he started in the preschool, he was in a partial substantial separate program where he had 2 paraprofessionals, 1 teacher, and 8 students. When he went to elementary school, he was put in inclusion, a regular general education classroom. Best thing that ever happened. What we learned through this process is that inclusion of the general education for special ed students is not only important to them, but is important to their general education, general peers. My son has developed his voice, his strength, and most importantly, friendships. This was all through peer modeling by teachers, staff members, by being included with his peers. As he closes out his term at O'Malley Middle School, he has blossomed into an articulate, thoughtful, and well-rounded student. Inclusion is more than just disabilities with non-disability students. It's about teaching compassion and patience, acceptance, and understanding of people who are experiencing the world in a different way. These are essential and key pieces of development that need to happen with our students. It helps by building a kind society and one that we want to live in. True inclusion works because of the people that make it possible. It works because of the teachers, the paraprofessionals, the specialists, the counselors, the support staff, the staff of the school that are all providing guidance and structure that allows students to succeed together. When we cut teachers and vital school staff The students, like my son and his neurotypical peers in the general education setting, as well as in the sub-separate settings, are placed into larger classrooms with fewer supports. And by not providing this level-funded budget that our school committee is fighting.
15 seconds.
I'm going to leave you with one last statement. Inclusion without support is not inclusion, it is abandonment. An abandonment of our most vulnerable students. And it ultimately becomes the abandonment of all students. Thank you.
My name is Robert Ryan. I'm in 8th grade and I'm going to go to high school next year. As an advanced math kid, I'm upset that teachers are getting let off. As an autistic kid, I'm afraid that support teachers are getting cut off. And as a kid who's experienced loud classrooms, I am afraid of the classrooms that will have larger amounts of students that already talk to each other. Because classrooms already get loud with like 20 students that are in them each. So 30 students in each class with maybe 10 students that all talk to each other very loud will not be good for education. And the budget, there's most certainly ways to make money for the budget. It's tourist season and we're in a beach city. There's definitely ways that you can get money for the budget. So you don't have to worry too much as long as you implement the proper things that you need to make more money for the city budget. I don't have much else to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Rich Francis, longtime GHS social studies teacher. A lot of people tonight talk about the human element of education, but I'm going to speak to the technocrat who sees only dollar figures, ignoring human elements. Since business teachers on the chopping block, let's talk economics. Opportunity cost. When you make a choice, the opportunity cost is what you lose. Combining these cuts with the previous cuts a couple of years ago, we're talking almost 20% of positions cut over the last 2 years. We aren't just cutting staff, we're cutting student futures. Cut DECA, we lose entrepreneurs. Cut cabinet making, we lose tradesmen. Cut criminal justice, we lose future public safety officers or lawyers. Cut teachers in every department at GHS and 2 houses at O'Malley, and diminish the opportunities our students have for growth as they prepare for college, careers, and civic life. Consider the impact on the staff who will remain. In the last decade, student behaviors have worsened, violence against teachers nationwide has increased, attention spans have diminished, and absenteeism has risen. Teaching has transformed in the past 25 years that I've been teaching, and our resources are already stretched. Last year, it took a strike to secure the support needed to manage behavior at O'Malley School. We've seen improvements because of those programs that we've added. But if you make these cuts, you will reverse those gains. And we may see out-of-district placement that will cost more than the amount of the cuts. Double whammy. I know some here are skeptical of teachers' perspectives and voices, but we are probably the most honest voices you're going to hear on this topic. When we talk about burnout, it is real. Nationwide teacher shortage tells us that. When we say we need more support, it's real. You have over 200 experts in education behind you here. The district tells you that this budget, the school department, school committee says this budget will severely impact every child in the district. The teachers know this. The experts know this. Packing classes won't just affect us. It will diminish student learning, negatively impact the technocrats' favorite measuring stick, test scores. We all understand the need for financial responsibility, but at the cost of our students' future?
20 seconds.
The worst part is that this has become normalized. Year after year, we stand here begging you to do the right thing. Wash, rinse, repeat. Enough with platitudes. This needs to stop. Do the right thing for our children. Let's build a system that moves forward every year rather than taking 2 steps back. Send this budget back. Let's roll up the sleeves. All of us, we can help. We've got experts here, and create a budget
Time.
that prioritizes our students. We're here to help.
Hi, Michelle Bailey, 2 Remington Road in Wenham. I am here as a teacher from the O'Malley School, and I can assure you that when the cuts came 2 years ago and you took away both interventionists, those have not been replaced. We do not have teachers at our school to help kids unless they have an IEP. If you talk to the special ed teachers this year on my team, they're astounded at the number of referrals for 8th graders. That's because for 2 years, those 8th graders have had no additional supports, and special ed is the only way their parents know to get them help. Now you're going to cut more teachers. You're going to cut the ML teacher. This year, we had 2 teachers. Next year, we'll have 1. That is cutting away at the most vulnerable students. And then when they go to high school, you're cutting away their person. It's not you making those decisions, I understand that, but you're deciding how much money is allocated. And the educational professionals are telling you where they can make those cuts because there's so many mandates that they have to fulfill. And they're cutting away at places no one wants to cut. I live in a town where we have a pond. The beach is about the size of that stage. And each year, I buy a parking sticker so that I can park in the parking lot. I pay it went up this year. I paid $35 a year for that. It's crazy that the residents of Gloucester pay so little to go to the lush beaches that are available here. During the strike, we recommended that you raise the out of residency stickers price, and it went up, and you increased your revenue. I think the residents would be willing to pay more for their beach stickers, especially when they see what is available outside. I'm going to be leaving Gloucester at the end of the year. I can't take this anymore. And it's very sad because I spend a lot of time and money to become a teacher, but I can't hack it. And when I leave, if you're lucky to replace a math teacher, because we haven't been able to find a certified math teacher in about 6 years, you'll save a lot of money. But your students are losing a lot, and you won't get that back.
Sean Goulart, 36 Washington Square, and a Gloucester High School teacher and lifetime Gloucester resident. I want to point out how many current students are in the room tonight, students that should be home, doing their homework, having dinner, and going to bed early because it is a school night, but instead they are here fighting to be a priority. 7 days ago on a local podcast, Mayor Lumberg said, and I quote, "We can make whatever budget number work for the benefit of the students. We are not going to be short. Yes, there may be some budget adjustments, but we are not going to harm the mission of the schools. In fact, ready? We are going to enhance them." The mayor went on to say he thinks things are going well. Look around here tonight. We are here because we don't agree. Please tell the students in the room here tonight how we plan on enhancing education by cutting 18 jobs. You never hear anyone say, the Patriots are going to be great this fall. I heard they're cutting 18 players and don't plan to replace them. But there is only so much money in the kitty. I keep hearing that. I don't remember this being said on the campaign trail last fall. So what changed? Because our revenue didn't. Let's be honest. Time and time again in politics, education gets you elected and cutting education gets you a balanced budget. I will repeat that. Education gets you elected, and cutting education gets you a balanced budget. The community is here tonight again because we vote our priorities, and though the administration's priorities have changed, ours have not. And if you do not plan on fully funding our schools, then own it. Stop blaming the school leadership. Their cuts are based off your budget. If you are going to be underfunding us, at least own the underfunding. To the City Council, I know many of your children and have had the pleasure of teaching many of them when they walked the halls of Gloucester High School. They are now educated, successful young adults due to, in part, the education Gloucester gave them. This is the same school system we continue to fight for, just the next generation. City Councilors, please join the school committee, educators, parents, guardians, and most importantly, our students here tonight in supporting a level service budget. And to all the local politicians in the future, please stop campaigning on our students if you don't plan on fighting for them. Education gets you elected, and cutting education gets you a balanced budget. This needs to stop. City Council, please pass a level service budget. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Tim Rose. I'm the cabinet making teacher at Gloucester High School, and I'm here in defense of the program that is at risk. Although the City Council did not make this decision, you do have the authority to ensure that this program, a program that has served Gloucester students for more than 60 years, does not disappear because of a budget gap. Cabinet Design is one of the few programs at Gloucester High School that every student can access. It's 1 block a day, 1 year, no prerequisites, no multi-year commitment. It's a doorway for students who may never take a vocational class, but still deserve the exposure to digital design, technology, creativity, and hands-on problem solving. And the impact is undeniable. Students don't just build a project, they build confidence, they learn to plan, adapt, troubleshoot, fail, start over, and succeed. These aren't extras, they're foundational life skills, and they're exactly what Gloucester High School's core values look like in action. Abundant local employers have stepped forward, saying plainly that this program produces students who arrive ready to learn, ready to work, ready to contribute on day one. That is a real measurable value for Gloucester's workforce and community. And here's the truth that matters for you. Eliminating this program does not create meaningful savings. It only creates an educational loss, a loss of opportunity, a loss of a proven, stable, decades-old pathway, a loss of a program that has shaped generations of Gloucester students. In the past few weeks, upwards of 100 past and present students have spoken out. They've written letters, shared stories, and shown up because this particular program has changed them. You don't get the kind of response from a program that's outdated or ineffective, yet this from a program that works. Tonight, I'm asking you to use the authority that you do have to support the funding needed to keep this particular program alive. Ensure that a program with a 60-plus year track record isn't quietly erased without a plan, without community input, and without considering what students stand to lose. Gloucester has always taken pride in offering pathways for every kind of learner. Cabinet Design is one of those programs that truly fulfills that promise. Please help protect it. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Bianca Morosi, and I'm an 8th grade student at O'Malley Middle School and a rising freshman at Gloucester High School, and I'm speaking on behalf of all of my classmates. These cuts are so deeply hurtful, not just to the teachers being let go, but to their coworkers, students, and our entire community. We need to step into their shoes. Imagine being a student watching your favorite teacher get let off. It is incredibly discouraging to see our teachers who went through years of schooling and worked so hard just to get laid off like they are nothing. Teachers always tell us students that if we work hard, we can achieve anything. But right now, that does not seem to apply to them. One of the specific cuts in O'Malley is the two-person houses, meaning it's just 2 teachers, each teaching 2 subjects to students. Entering 8th grade, I was put in a 2-person house, and I was so incredibly nervous about only having 2 teachers. However, my experience has been the best school experience I have ever had. My teachers are always there for me, school-related or not, and I look up to them, not as a teacher, but as a person. And I'm going to be honest, I had a whole speech planned, but I'm going to get to the part that aggravates me the most. These budgets are at risk of cutting teachers that help students with learning disabilities across all schools. Cutting the educators that struggling students need the most is hurtful, unfair, and quite honestly, unprofessional. These kids already fight over the daily feeling that they are not good enough. Taking away their support will cause them to fall further behind.
And I see this firsthand. My built-in best friend, my sister, has a processing learning disability. She struggles so much, even with what the school provides. It makes me infuriated to see this happen to her, even more to see that these resources are being at risk to be taken away. I don't understand why, out of all the positions you had to cut, you chose one of the ones with the biggest impact. I thought you wanted what's best for the students of Gloucester. But seeing what's happening right now, I'm really starting to question that. It breaks my heart to see how my sister and kids like her will survive without this necessary resource. Teachers should not need a plan B. Teachers deserve the safety of their job and the security that they will not be let go on a random basis. Teachers help our students be educated, but also to feel safe and seen. School is so much more than just writing essays. It's about forming relationships and finding out who we are, and we do this with the help of teachers. This is not just a sensitive topic to me. It's a serious problem that I am willing to stand and speak on for hours, and I will do that until there is a change. Students care so deeply.
20 seconds.
Blind to what is happening. Gloucester Public students stand with teachers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Beth Schaffner. I'm a second grade teacher at West Parish School, and I am proud to say I'm a third generation Gloucester educator. I stand here.
Address, please.
80 Mount Pleasant Avenue, sorry. I stand here today following the footsteps of my grandfather, Bernie Pratt, who stood in this position decades ago, maybe almost a century ago, advocating to introduce women's varsity sports to Gloucester schools. He helped to win this future that I've enjoyed and that our current students are enjoying now. And I stand here with the same hope that Gloucester can once again show pride and leadership in taking a stand in its commitment to build a better tomorrow. I assure this council that I am well-informed and aware of the city's budget, and I understand the financial crisis that we face. But I must ask, why is it that the education department is being asked to shoulder the burden of the city's financial position? We didn't put us in this position. Our city leadership in decades and decades and decades has. The education system shouldn't be asked to shoulder this. I understand municipal funds are tight, but I can't understand the justification for imposing such extreme, disproportionate cuts on the most complex and vulnerable department in our city. I urge you to stop thinking of our students as a line item product on a balance sheet. Instead, I ask that you demonstrate a true and a long-term commitment to the future of Gloucester by doing everything you can to provide a meaningful funding to our schools today and moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Henry Goulart, and I'm a freshman at Gloucester High School. I'm speaking tonight for myself, my friends, and my teachers. I'm also speaking tonight on behalf of a public school educator and school committee member, my mother, Andrea Liakos. My mom couldn't be here tonight because her students are performing in their final chorus concert of the year. She's missing this meeting tonight, one that is important to her personally, and the results of which directly impact my sister Quinn and I, because her role as an educator took precedence over all else. She did what all of my teachers do every single day. She supported and prioritized the needs of her students and their families. I'm standing here asking you to do the same. When you choose to support a budget that removes teachers from classrooms and schools, you show students like me that we aren't worth investing in. You show us that our experiences at school aren't something to prioritize. You show us that education is not a field worth pursuing after we graduate. You create barriers for our teachers and for us when you're supposed to be helping to create opportunities. Here are a few of the barriers to my one shot at a Gloucester Public Schools education that the current budget creates. Removal of a cabinet design, elimination of the DECA advisor, science, math, Italian, English, social studies, elimination of a two-person house at O'Malley. These aren't line items or programs of study. These are people who my friends and I learn from and with every single day. I don't see where the opportunities for success and growth are listed in the mayor's budget. 2 years ago, my sisters spoke out when the arts programs and Tier 2 intervention services were on the chopping block. here I am today speaking out about the impact of more potential cuts. In school, we have essential questions and learning objectives. If the objective is to appropriately fund our schools, I ask you this. 1, what steps are our city leaders willing to take to bring more money into our city so that students like me and my sister don't continue to burn the brunt of budget cuts? And 2, if there are no plans and no action steps taken, what will your response be when we are back here next year having the same conversation? I just turned 15 last week. I will be of voting age in 3 years. I hope you'll listen to what the students in Gloucester are asking for in our schools. We are listening to you, and we will be ready to vote accordingly.
Hi, City Council. My name is Alina Brown, and I'm the current president of the Gloucester High School DECA program. I'm an international qualifier, a state 6th place finisher, a 2-time state finalist, and a district champion. I'm not speaking to you tonight to impress you with all my achievements. I'm speaking tonight because those achievements are now at risk, and so are the opportunities for every student who comes after me. The cuts in our school system due to the budget proposal have put my DECA advisor, Mr. Brady Frost's position on the line. He came to us at our lowest point when our program had no advisor and no direction. Under his guidance, we sent more students to states than we had in years. I became a state finalist, and I qualified for internationals. Without him, none of that happens. With the proposed budget, we cannot run our DECA class. We won't achieve our state achievements chapter status, nor send our officers to the power trip. We won't send as many kids to states or internationals. We won't have the very foundation that makes any of this possible. DECA teaches business, finance, marketing, leadership, public speaking, professionalism, and so much more. With the number of GHS graduates who go to college and go into these fields after graduation, DECA is not just some extracurricular, it's a preparation for our futures. Elite programs like King Philip, Westford Academy, and Danvers are well-established, well-funded, and well-staffed. We compete against them every single year, and every single year, we've been closing that gap. That progress doesn't just happen on its own. If you cut Mr. Frost in our DECA class, you make us show up next year with one hand tied behind our backs. When our city says every day matters, everyone belongs, it feels deeply contradictory to the students directly impacted by these cuts. How can everybody belong when the teachers and programs that make students feel connected and valued are the very things being put in jeopardy? I urge you sincerely and without reservation to fund the level service budget. These are real students, real people, and real futures. Students' futures that you are putting on the line. Tonight, you're not deciding what Gloucester can afford in the budget. You're deciding what Gloucester is willing to invest in. I urge you to invest in our students' futures.
Good evening. My name is Eric Lee. I'm a high school biology teacher, biotech teacher for Spring Lane. And I'm a colleague to these people here. I want you to look at them because this is the only job that I know of that you can be told during Teacher Appreciation Day week that you don't have a job and then be expected to come in and teach in front of your students and educate your students and provide the support that they need without any change of your heart inside. What I'm going to speak to you about today is coming here. I didn't prepare a speech, but it was ironic what came on the radio here. But the Janis Joplin song, Piece of My Heart, okay? And what it's going to be is piece of my budget, what it really needs to be. Because the first part is about what every one of these educators wakes up every morning and says to Gloucester and to their students. It starts out, oh, come on, come on, come on. You know, I can't sing, but don't worry. Didn't I make you feel, Gloucester, like you were the only city? Yeah, and didn't I give nearly everything that a teacher or educator possibly can? You know I did. Then the next part, if we start to think about it, well, and each time I tell myself that, well, I think I've had enough. Every year we seem to go through the same type of thing, but I'm going to show you, baby, that a union, these individuals can be tough and will be resilient. But that doesn't mean that it's going to continue. What that means is to the mayor, it's time to find a piece of your budget, okay, and give it here so that we can educate our students and support everyone. I look at my colleague in science, I look at history, I look at math, and I'm going to miss so many. I look at the cabinet design, Brady Frost, all of these other people, let alone O'Malley and every one of them that is being taken away and the opportunities there. Yet every day they give their heart to this. And this is what we're going to give back to them. The city needs to find the money. Mayor, it's small change in reality to the future of every one of these students. They only have one time, as I see them, as a freshman, sophomore, junior, and just about everyone that's spoken here, we all have had a part to do it. So send the level budget. We're not asking for more. Mayor, find the money. Remember, the voters have said through the Fair Share Amendment, the Student Opportunity Act, that millions of dollars should be dedicated towards education. It's time it doesn't go straight into the city coffers and then gets divided over things. It needs to go to education.
20 seconds.
Good evening. My name is Matthew Lewis. I live at 356 Forest Street, and for the last 10 years, I have been an educator at O'Malley Middle School. Currently, I am one of the civics teachers in 8th grade. Before the meeting started tonight, a council member stated that we are showing up uninformed. While I do love ammunition for campaigning against politicians, I am reminded that as an educator, it is my duty to inform. So, here I am doing my duty. The budget cuts contained in the mayor's proposed budget are not an isolated event. Since 2024, Gloucester Public Schools has lost 38.2 positions, not 38 2-point positions proposed, not 38.2 threatened. Lost. And many, if not all, of these positions have never come back. Each year we are told that these cuts are temporary. Each year we are told we have to tighten our belts. Yet the jobs disappear, the responsibilities remain, and the students are left with fewer adults to support them. I also seem to recall several of you sitting at this council that said, bring us a budget number 2 years ago when we were going through our negotiations, and you said, we'll vote for it. Well, here we are. Would you like to stick to your promise to our students and to our teachers? So when educators, parents, and students come before you asking for full funding, we are not asking for something new. We are asking you to stop digging the hole deeper. If we are showing up uninformed, then let me provide the information. Those 38.2 fewer positions have not returned. They will not return, but the needs of our students certainly have not gone away, and they will continue to rise. You can vote for another year of cuts and call it fiscal responsibility. We will be the one explaining the consequences to students and families. We will be the ones living with the results. Our students deserve better than another bad budget balanced on our backs. Thank you.
Noelle Perry, 7 Raynard Street, lifelong resident of Gloucester, former student of Gloucester Public Schools, and current teacher of 7th grade ELA and social studies at O'Malley Middle School. As the daughter of 2 public school teachers, including my mother, who's taught at GHS for over 20 years, I always dreamed of coming back to Gloucester after I graduated college to become an educator in my community. In September, I began teaching at O'Malley and Phoenix House, the same classroom where I was a student 15 years ago. Everything had come full circle and my dream had come true. But then a few weeks ago, in the middle of Teacher Appreciation Week, I was told that my position was being eliminated and I would be let go due to budget cuts. As personally devastating as this news is, I'm not here to beg for my job. I'll be fine. After all, Phoenix rises from the ashes. Rather, I ask you to consider the people who this budget will affect the most, our students. Phoenix House is one of 3 teams at O'Malley that consist of 2 teachers rather than 4. Next year, there will only be 2 of these teams. One of the benefits of a 2-teacher team is that we teach twice as many subjects and spend twice as much time with each of our students. For some students, this is an added bonus. For others, this is vital. Students learn best when they have good relationships with their teachers. The stronger the connection to a teacher, the stronger the connection to their studies. I have students who would refuse to do any work until I gained their trust and respect. Some students only show up to school for 1 class, 1 program, 1 teacher, When you cut them, you cut the reason a child has for getting up in the morning and attending any of their classes. In the past couple of weeks, I have had students who once excitedly chattered about everything 8th grade has to offer tell me that they are no longer excited to come to school next year because all of their favorite teachers won't be here anymore. Some students do not have stable adults in their lives at home. I take great pride in making my classroom a safe space for all of my students, where they can feel comfortable to try, to stumble, to try again, to learn, to grow, and to succeed, just as my teachers did for me, many of whom are here today. Thank you. With larger class sizes and without the option of a 2-teacher team, the students who benefit the most from this system will slip through the cracks. Not if, it's not a matter of if, it is when. These students need one-on-one attention during class. Eliminating the amount of classroom teachers that the mayor's proposed budget requires us to lose will mean that class sizes will expand to unmanageable numbers.
20 seconds.
These students need individual attention during class. It is difficult enough to meet these demands in a class of 20. In a class of 30 or more, it will be impossible. These students will not get the attention they need and the education they deserve. The children of our community are the future of our community, whether they come from generations of proud Gloucester men and women, or they moved here last week. Do not let them slip through the cracks. Please fund our schools.
Jabin Belcher, 30 New Way Lane, GHS graduate class of 2019 and good friend to Noel Perry, who spoke right before me. I originally didn't plan on speaking today, and I wrote this last second, but I'll do my best to convey this to you, and I hope you'll listen. During high school, I was not a great student. In fact, if you ask my junior year history teacher, Rich Francis, I was probably one of the worst students he had that year. My friend Frank Sciolino and I disrupted his class almost every day. That class was the only one I failed in high school. I couldn't use my usual get by and pass attitude in his class. While I was upset at the time that I failed by only 1.5%, which I thought he could easily bump up to a passing grade, it taught me a valuable lesson, that I should work harder and not just get by. This was a valuable and much needed life lesson that I now thank Mr. Francis for. During my time at GHS, 2 of my favorite programs offered at the school got cut: computer-aided design and culinary. I never got my 2 periods of culinary for my senior year, and the students after my time never got to have it at all. What I'm trying to say is, programs like cabinet design being cut due to budget issues is not new for Gloucester Public Schools, but this current budget is not helping. I beg of you, metaphorically on my knees, for you to approve this level service budget before we lose more programs in our schools that for some students are the only thing that keep them going to school every day, and teachers that will instill lifelong lessons that their students will desperately need. Thank you.
Teresa Anderson, 100 Friend Street. I don't have anything fully written, just a couple thoughts of listening to other people. When he brought up Janice Jocelyn, Piece of My Heart, ever since I heard about the budget being cut, the first thing that popped in my head was Whitney Houston's Greatest Love of All. You know, the children are the future. And I really hope that isn't falling on deaf ears, because this is monumental. If we don't take care of them, we won't have any future. The cops, the firefighters, everything. So I know that we were a couple suggestions, like the youth council. They have a lot of great ideas of how to raise the money. I mean, I saw that we have that, what was it? Hold on, let me find it. The Gloucester Education Foundation was able to raise the money for a courtyard in front of O'Malley. So there's, you know, people wanting to help, we just have to find them. I really don't know how else to put it, so I just figured I'd leave you with a couple thoughts. Like, so today's youth will be one of the adults, leaders, and caretakers of society making the way we guide and educate them incredibly important. And it's easier to build strong children than it is to repair broken adults. Thank you.
Kurt Lichtenwald. I teach physics and engineering at Gloucester High School. I've been teaching there for 26 years, so I know what I'm doing. I am one of the best in the state at what I do. But for years now, I've had to do 3 jobs just to pay my bills. 3 jobs. That takes away from my sleep, which means I'm not always that happy when I get to school. I just cannot believe you think this is like a brand new thing. It's been going on for years. You've been hiring the wrong people over and over again that care more about budgets and cutting us than actually education itself. When I brought it to the superintendent, I pointed blank to him. I said, I don't really think you care about education. And he got mad. But I'm like, actions speak louder than words. And all you've done is cut us again. And now he's leaving after you guys gave him a budget and you gave him a pay raise and longevity fee. He's leaving and we're left with the shambles again. This has happened time and time again, and I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting the same thing. I'm tired of new guys coming in thinking they know how to run it better. They don't. They want to run it like a business. Okay. Problem is, when you get poor materials coming to your workplace, you send it back. We can't do that. We have to teach the kids that are in front of us to the best of our abilities. I keep trying, but you guys keep taking things away from us. Now I'm going to have to teach a different class than I actually used to teach. Now I'm not teaching physics anymore. I'll be switching over to a different job because we cut a teacher. This is not the best way to use my strengths. I can tell you that. I am just tired, and I'm thinking about retiring this year. I'm going to the retirement board on the 20th because I don't think you guys are serious about education anymore. I will be watching to see who votes. I'm a long-time member. I can't say that I grew up here. I grew up overseas. I'm a former military and military brat. But when I tell you that this is my island, this is my island. And I feel that to my core. And when I see people disrupt what is a really good system, it makes me angry. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to say to everybody listening, all my former
20
students,
seconds.
25 plus years I've been here. Anyone that votes against a level budget, not increasing my pay at all. I'm still $10,000 less than everybody else around us. That means I have to take another job just to pay my bills. But you guys
Time's
want
up.
to cut the budget more? If they cut the budget, then we got
Thank
to
you.
cut them.
Thank you.
Good evening, counselors. My name is Jeff Worthley, and I live at 4 Hawthorne Road. And I can't possibly give more passionate of a speech than all the ones we've heard here tonight from the students and teachers and parents. I'll just do my best to present my perspective. I come before you as a parent of 2 Gloucester High School students who are thriving. Many of you know my children. And they are thriving due in large part, to the teachers and paraprofessionals who have supported them through the years. Thank you. I'm a product of the Gloucester schools and the product of 2 parents who are also attended Gloucester schools and worked for the public schools. I've served alongside many of you on the City Council for 8 years, during good years and lean ones. I have great respect for Mayor Lundberg, the school committee, the hard work that you do each and every day to get to this point, to the City Council, and every single teacher and every city employee. Many residents are tapped out from increases in taxes and fees. I'm not going to propose a drastic change or go through thousands of pages of expenses tonight to save money. But there is one simple, fiduciarily sound amendment this council could make. Last year I observed that the actual revenue projections were being shortchanged by approximately $3.5 million. I was told by one of my colleagues in the council that I was, quote, cooking the books. My numbers were wrong. My prediction of $3.5 million surplus was in error. It was a $3.9 million surplus. I'm not proposing to use that money. That's it. Free cash went into the stabilization account, went back to the mayor's office in part. But I want to draw your attention to page 22 of the city's budget. It's the revenue projection. Do we really expect that we're going to collect $476,000 less in motor vehicle taxes? Do we expect to collect $132,000 less in other excise taxes? $300,000 less in penalties and interest? $50,000 less in fines? $600,000 less in miscellaneous recurring revenue? I have no idea what that means. You probably do. $63,000 less in payment in lieu of taxes. Right there is $1.6 million that is not accounted for in the budget. Over the 4 years I served in the council, we had a $5.8 million surplus, a $4.9 million surplus, a $4.3 million surplus, and a $3.9 million surplus. Why are we comparing the increase percentages on a wrong budget
20
number
seconds.
when we have actual, reliable, fiduciarily responsible, consistent numbers to work with? Mass municipal finance law does not allow the council to unilaterally change the revenues. But if you sleep on it tonight, and the mayor sleeps on it tonight, he could very simply come back to the council and say, I'd like to amend the revenue projections and include this $1.6 million, and then you can use it how you need. Thank you. Best of luck.
Hello, my name's Cynthia Mahowski. I'm at 13 Wall Street here in Gloucester, Massachusetts. I'm also an English teacher at Gloucester High School. And I just am impressed with everybody's speeches tonight. One of the things that stuck out to me tonight when you, Mr. Gross, when the young students came up here, the kids in elementary school, and you said, oh, wait, don't give your address, you stopped them because you were able to notice, because you were concerned. You just, when you cut the budget, when you don't fund the schools, you've taken away voices who are actually watching out for young children. They may not, so you, if you weren't on this, maybe they wouldn't, it's not that nobody cared, but maybe they wouldn't have thought of it. Those extra eyes on actual small people matter. I've been in Gloucester now almost 20 years. I've had kids that go into PhD programs. I have kids that are working down on the docks. What they all share in common is that they got an education. They were able to have programs. They were able to have teachers. I have kids that have gone through the carpentry program. I have kids that absolutely need Vanessa Lindbergh. In this day and age, it is malpractice to get rid of the ML supports, I think. And I know that the mayor doesn't decide who gets cut, but when you say, I'm taking away from the schools, you know you're taking away from people who serve our children, who will have limited choices, who won't get the full, robust education, who won't be able to maybe stay in Gloucester, who won't contribute to the community. When I started at Gloucester High School, we had 2 carpentry teachers in our carpentry program. Maybe some of you or somebody you know lives in one of the houses that they've built over the years that we can see. You can go in and look around Gloucester and say, hey, our carpentry program did that. You can look at the signs during COVID that Tim Rose's shop made for I don't know, I think it was canine cops or something. You think about at the elementary school, nobody mentioned a nurse is retiring and they're not replacing her. So you have one less nurse to care for little tiny kids. I look at my 2 nurses in the high school. It's valuable that we have 2. One stays there while the other one is giving out medications, is maybe called for an emergency. I know it seems like you have to think about the human faces. That's why all these people are up here speaking. And I'm so tired of coming up here. I used to go to
20 seconds.
and talk to you in the little conference room up there. I've never seen this many people come out for police, firemen, DPW, all the other departments. Why is it always education? Please stop it. Just fund us. Thank you.
Roseanne Vidal, 11 Hickory Street.
Speak into the microphone, please.
Roseanne Vidal, 11 Hickory Street, Gloucester. Dear Mayor and councilors, I wrote this today, to implore you to fully fund our schools. Even a level-funded budget is not enough to serve our students. What would we do without the Gloucester Education Foundation funding so many programs that should be covered by the city? We'd be in big trouble. Please take a moment to think of this. The strike caused a huge rift in our community, which has only recently begun to heal thanks to the agreement of the entire school committee to pass a level-funded budget. The mayor was the lone dissenter. Many of us have taken time out of our busy lives and away from our families to spend hours at meetings and other events in hopes that our city will support our schools. This is extremely stressful, emotionally draining, and disheartening. We did not expect that we would have to do this again so soon. The schools are already running on a bare minimum. Their bones were picked clean during the last cuts leading up to the strike. The approved budget is gravely insufficient and will have catastrophic repercussions that will be felt for generations. I'm begging you to please fully fund our schools. Anything less is a tragic disservice to our children and our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Kathy Clancy, 78 High Popples Road. I come to you as not just the chair of the Gloucester School Committee, but I had a son who graduated 4 years ago through Gloucester Public Schools, and I care deeply about having other students get the same wonderful education and opportunities he had. I just want to point out that the budget that's being proposed for the school is an increase of 1.550, $1,550,000. In fiscal year 21, we got an increase of 1.250. So the difference between then and now is $300,000. What has happened in that time? Health insurance has gone up double digits many of those years. Our tuition for out-of-district special education has gone up. The needs of students have gone up. Yet somehow we're supposed to make do with an amount that is, adjusted for inflation, clearly much less than 6 years ago. I don't know if other departments are dealing with those kinds of magnitudes of their numbers, but we're not here to pit a department against a department. We're here to advocate for our students. In that time, we've settled contracts to have competitive salaries, to attract the best and the brightest, and to retain them. This is the business of the schools, is to provide great people in front of our students. So I don't stand here tonight looking at you as adversaries. In fact, I look at you as partners. This part of the process is the public hearing, and people are here talking about what their priorities are. And I don't see anybody else here other than the schools saying, please give us a budget more. I mean, it speaks volumes who is speaking tonight. So I do look at you as our hope, and as hopefully you're listening to what's happening and what people are saying. I want you to understand that every single dollar helps, and we're grateful for the $300,000 increase that was proposed and put forth by the mayor. But let me tell you, it's just not enough. And every $100,000 helps us save programs, helps us save important opportunities for our kids. You've heard from many wonderful students who I couldn't be more proud of the communications we've had from students in advocating for themselves, advocating for their peers, advocating for the educators they care about. These are the kids we are sending out into the world. These are the same kind of kids we want to see 5 years from now doing the same thing, having the great experience in our schools so that they can thrive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tracy O'Neill, 12 Friend Street. I don't know where to begin. Teachers are incredible. I had a teacher years ago, don't ask how many. I was ready to drop out of her class, and she said, you can do this. This is what's going on, this is what's coming next. You know this, you can do it. use a ballpoint pen because it flows faster and easier than a pencil. I mean, she was incredible. When I was in high school, I had incredible high school teachers. So, hats off. I know a young man who is joining Gloucester High next year because of one teacher. He's currently not in high school, he's not in Gloucester Public Schools. He knows one teacher, and that's the only reason he's joining. And I think he just left. Yeah, so it's Coach L. He also taught my two boys 20 odd years ago, physics and robotics. And my oldest boy is a teacher. Now, my oldest boy, I'm not reading anything. My oldest boy hated school. But Coach L's class, he loved it. I have a picture of him, on my wall with his robotics buddies on the dock with boats that they made that Coach taught them and encouraged them how to do these things. And the guy who teaches cabinetry, to lose that kind of skill, I can't believe that that's an option. And I find it hard to believe that there's not money to be found. I find it very, very difficult. But I do have some questions, and I don't know if you'll answer them. The $300,000 that is being taxed to the residents for trash, right? Can residents opt out of it and hire their own trash company? That's one question. Another question is there an adjustment or a discount for elderly or veterans or disabled persons? I live alone. I don't put trash out every week. Have you cut expenses anywhere?
20 seconds.
Have you considered putting parking kiosks on Stacy Boulevard? You can't find a parking space to save your life. So, and what Jeff Worthley said, how many millions? I don't know.
Time, Tracy.
There's money.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jane Fox, 14 Becker Circle. It is my understanding that a $300 trash fee per household and $300,000 of this fee would be allocated to the school budget. My household has 2 seniors. We pay $12.50 for 5 bags and use 1 bag every other week. Our annual cost is $65. The proposed flat fee is 362% increase for the exact same service. The effective cost of 1 bag would jump from $2.50 to $11.50. This is not a reasonable increase for small or senior citizens. I understand that the city plans to use standard municipal carts. These carts vary in size, weight, and cost. Before mandating any cart system, the city must consider each household's storage capacity, occupancy, physical ability, and driveway condition. Many seniors cannot safely maneuver a large 95, 96-gallon cart, which weighs 35 to 40 pounds empty, especially on long, steep, unpaved, or crushed stone driveways, or in rainy, icy, or snowy conditions. Imagine when these carts are filled. These conditions create a real risk of industry or potential death. This is New England. Weather and terrain are not optional considerations. I sent a letter to the mayor regarding the FY27 school budget and provided the following data. 75% of homeowner households do not have children in the school system. Homeowner households fund 60% of the school budget through property taxes, about $34.1 million of the $56.8 million school committee approved appropriated budget. Senior homeowners would contribute 18 to 21 million towards this budget, which is a disproportionate share of the cost. For these reasons, I ask the city to consider the challenges older homeowners face living on fixed incomes while coping with rising costs for groceries, home maintenance, insurance policies, medical care, property taxes, utilities, and now potentially a 362% increase in trash fees. Trash fees should reflect how much waste a household generates, not one that makes small or senior citizens subsidize larger ones. And trash fees should not be used as a cookie jar to fill unrelated budget gaps. A fair approach would allow households to choose their cart size and pay accordingly, and/or consider every other week trash pickup, which other communities already use successfully. In summary, most homeowners do not have children in the school system. Senior homeowners contribute a substantial share of school funding. The proposed flat fee disproportionately harms seniors and small households.
10 seconds.
The city should not shift budget pressures on these. I do support the school, but I respectfully ask the council to reconsider this proposal and pursue a fairer, more proportional system. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Dana Griffin. I'm a retired carpentry shop teacher from GHS. My former neighbor Tim Rose is going to. My former shop.
Start again, Dana.
Dana Griffin, retired GHS carpentry shop. My former neighbor Tim Rose has been running that industrial arts cabinet shop since he started. It's been around since Dad Goodwin came through. It's a alternative to going to the vocational school, and it also gives the students interest in other things. Lots of Tim's students also become, HVAC guys, carpenters, plumbers, electricians. With the design, they go to machine shop. It's a worthwhile program. It shouldn't be lost, and the light shouldn't go out in the program. The equipment's there, and it's a wage. And he is not being cut, but they want to transfer him, doing something totally different. And the kids love the program. You could have something to go to school for that you love. If you don't have anything to go to school for to love, you might as well just go to work. So I hope you reconsider, whoever's considering, not having Tim being in the shop, reconsider it. We all need it. I know when my friends need help, they go to the vocational school or they'll go to the industrial art shop and they'll ask who's available and who can just measure or count or divide. That's what we need the shop for. And it keeps the kids employable. It keeps them in Gloucester. And most of the tradespeople I know own their houses, unlike a lot of college students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there. This is my first meeting, so sorry if I'm a little weird, but my parents are...
Name and address.
Okay, Devin Lichtenwald, 27 Grove Street, Essex. My parents are both public school teachers, Coach L and Miss L, if you know them. I think they already left, but sorry. Okay, I'm just gonna really quickly.
We have to do a change of rules procedure just for this one particular time. We don't allow people who are not taxpayers in Gloucester or associated with businesses in Gloucester.
Okay.
So we can, if everyone's okay with this, but this is a one-time.
Right.
Everyone's okay?
Thank you, guys.
Continue on.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. All right. During the spring of 2017, my mom began teaching a class full of high school ELL students for the first time ever. The SEI, Sheltered English Immersion Program, had recently been established due to the rapid increase of immigrants settling in Gloucester, Massachusetts. As a result of not specializing in teaching an ethnically diverse class where kids lacked the ability to understand English, she felt ill-prepared. She recognized that handling cultural diversity in a classroom setting is difficult and requires preparation. Her class consisted of 12 students, 6 different languages, 8 different countries, 12 different stories. Her job was to teach them life science. She was supposed to teach these kids about how our genome contains thousands of genes mutated from bacteria, fungi, other single-celled organisms, and viruses, while they could barely speak or understand any English. Underpaid and overworked, she continues to teach these kids today, driven by a passion for them. I'm telling you this because it gives you a sense of the need for our teachers, and the role that they play is crucial to Gloucester. I've seen firsthand the importance of a school being dedicated to creating opportunities for students that may not have had the resources to succeed in the first place. And I can't imagine more budget cuts because those students, I can't even imagine. But that's basically it, but thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is James Cook. I live at 10 Knowlton Square. Thank you. Been listening a lot this evening and wanted to speak a little bit at the end to pull together some things and emphasize some points for the council to consider as you make your decision about this budget and to urge you to support the level service budget. So as the principal of Gloucester High School for 9 years, I am one of the people who unfortunately was in the position of telling people previously that certain programs and certain positions had been cut in the past. And so make no mistake about it, as you've heard over and over again tonight, this proposed budget is cuts on top of cuts. And there are no good choices left. Tonight, you've heard about some of the things that would be lost throughout the schools at every level and in every building. You've heard about the support that we'd be losing at the high school for the multilingual learners that you just heard about moments ago before me. You heard about the potential loss of the cabinet program. You heard about losses in multilingual learner teachers at the middle school and in the houses, getting rid of another 2-person house at the middle school, and on and on. You may sit there and say, or suggest that, oh, let's make different choices, right? Okay, we're going to keep the budget the way it is. We can sustain those programs by going back, and then the school committee, as the mayor has suggested, perhaps other choices could be made. They're all bad choices at this point. Everything there, if lost, would have equal passion and equal support to what you're seeing here tonight in the advocacy for the programs. We are down to the point where every cut is impacting all of the students to a certain degree, and some of the students extensively. Right to the place where you've heard from many people about students not wanting to go to school. We know that students come to school for special things. They come for band, they come for drama, they come for cabinet making, they come for that one special support person. Right? That is what draws them into the school building, and then they get the other parts of their education.
20
even
seconds.
when they're not great students.
20 seconds, James.
As we've heard about tonight. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder about 20 seconds. I just want to wrap up by saying, please, when you vote tonight, keep in the front of your mind that the proposed cuts are cuts on top of cuts, and there are no good choices left. All of the choices harm the children of Gloucester. Thank you, everybody.
Hi, my name's Kim Pascucci, and I live at 28 Birch Grove Heights. Originally, I wasn't going to say anything, but listening to everyone speak tonight, I was inspired. I wanted to say, as a Gloucester High School graduate and a parent of a child in the Gloucester public system, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that we're all here again begging for you to fund our schools. I'm embarrassed that some of my favorite teachers I had back in school 18 years ago are still here trying to advocate for our students. It's embarrassing that we have to do this. Education and our city's children should be at the top of all of our priorities. They aren't aligned in the budget. They are our future. I already know that my kids won't have the opportunities I had in high school because they've been chiseled away over the years. It's a shame that this is where we are, and I hope the words spoken here tonight don't fall on deaf ears. I would urge you to do better and be better.
Thank you. We have one person online who's been waiting patiently.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Awesome, thank you. My name is Brittany McGrail, 8 Chapel Road. And until recently, I was the 8th grade ELA and civics teacher at O'Malley. I was standing before you tonight. I was the one with the toddler, to put it into reference. I stand before you tonight as one of the 10 staff members at O'Malley who was either let go or forced into a job they did not apply for due to these budget cuts. Those let go were 5 teachers, 1 administrator, and 1 administrative assistant. The other 3, myself and 2 others, were forced into positions we did not apply for and are not trained for. They are ones that we are not being provided training on how to teach. My team teacher and I are both pregnant and will be making parental leave plans for 2 curriculums we have never taught before. How is this in the best interest of our students, something this committee has claimed to have? During my time at O'Malley, I have watched this district cut program after program due to funding. I have watched O'Malley lose access to our library, students lose access to additional support in ELA and math, and watched as we have struggled to hire and retain qualified educators. Staff members come and go through our district, often as a stepping stone for something more, and despite this, we still do not value or protect staff who are worth the investment and who invest themselves in their students, building, and community. Instead, we are nothing more than a number on a spreadsheet. I have dedicated a part of myself to this district. I have taught both 6th and 8th grade, learned new curriculum, helped build a team of students actively want to be a part of, served on committees, mentored colleagues, piloted initiatives, and stepped up when the building needed extra support. Last year, when we lost a long-term sub, I taught 4 additional classes and had to fight to be paid for my work. This year, my family suffered 8 losses, for which I only took leave for 2 of them because it was in the best interest of my students. The worst of these was when my father, my best friend, passed away unexpectedly in January. Through all of it, I continued teaching, planning, meeting deadlines, and supporting my students, and even finished my grades on time, despite being granted an extension. Even during the hardest year of my life, I still showed up for this district. After everything I have invested and gone through this year, which my administration is aware of, I am now being forced into another grade level because of budget cuts. When I was told this, the meeting started with, "Good news is you still have a job." This was said to a 12-year teaching veteran with a master's plus 30, a certificate in teacher leadership, and someone who holds 4 separate professional licenses, like it was a favor and not seniority and experience I had earned. After everything I've done professionally and have experienced personally this year, this was a slap in the face. I am a person. I am not a number on a spreadsheet or a license number. The council cannot continue to ask educators to sacrifice more and more while giving less and less in return. If you do not invest in your schools and the people working in them, eventually those people will leave. When experienced, dedicated teachers leave, students are the ones to suffer the most. And for reference, at least 4 of the students that spoke this evening were previous members of Ocean House in the 8th grade, and I cannot begin to announce how proud I am of them for speaking up tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. You're up.
Hello,
Name and address.
Beverly Palmacci, 8 Commonwealth Avenue. Life has somehow become unaffordable for most, other than the growing wealthier class. I believe in education, but I also believe in living within one's budget, be it our personal, the city, whatever. The issue about the trash it really stands out. I don't understand how trash collection is going to become so expensive surely that's got to be something that can be worked on. I think that we should pay as we throw. We should not be being charged an outlandish figure and then having that money go towards the city. There are places I found what Jeff Worthley said to be quite interesting. So I think it's up to you folks to decide what's most important. Education, a fancier trash collection method, or whatever. But you have to decide because we have to live within our means, just like I have to, the city has to. So it has to be done. Might be tough, but it has to be done. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Brenda M.
Hi, good evening. Brenda Malloy, 43 Rocky Neck Ave. I just want to say that I believe that we live in paradise. It's a beautiful place, and we need to take advantage of the people that take advantage of the beautiful place we have, who have homes here that they don't reside in, who don't participate in this process at all, who come here and enjoy Gloucester and take advantage of the beauty and the beaches and what it offers and live in multi-million-dollar homes often. And they pay the same tax rate as everybody else. I think that there's got to be a way to look at what other communities are doing, how they're making money off of people who take advantage of the beauty of a city. I think that trying to make revenue through trash pickup is absolutely ridiculous and takes advantage of the least able to pay population. And I think there's a way to do it. I think there were some creative ideas presented tonight. I agree that with what Jeff Worthley said, that it's worth looking at the numbers. I don't have any children, but I believe wholly in supporting our children at the education system. And perhaps when talk comes about for combining the two remaining elementary schools, we won't build a multi-billion dollar facility that looks like better than any building on the college campus that I went to, because I think we're getting completely out of control with that stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else online? Nope, you already spoke. Oh, no, you spoke. No, go ahead. You spoke oral communications.
I just very quickly want to say thank
Name and
you
address for the record,
Oh,
please.
sorry, Barnaby Prendergast, and I'm still at 61 Farnell Street in West Gloucester. I wanted to say thank you to Ms. Jewell, who brought up the potential of having a split in property taxes. One or two other people have mentioned the same thing. None of that is possible without a 2.5% override. We have a wallet size that is effectively set by the state. We can't put any more money into that wallet. It just won't fit. The numbers don't work. What we have to do is come together as a community and literally put our money where we're putting our wishes and say, we want education, we want to fund it, we have to pay for it. It's a Proposition 2.5 override, or next year, we'll have an even, this year we've got a 35-foot long canvas to put over a 40-foot long boat. And some of it's exposed, and it's taking damage. Next year, it's going to be a smaller canvas on a bigger boat. And we have to, grow some stones and say, yes, we need to increase our overall property tax budget. Then you can start shifting around the burden of property tax. We can't put waste management into our property tax currently. It's $4.5 million. There isn't slack. We can't do that without a Proposition 2.5 override. If we did that, each house could be assessed on the value of their property as to how much they pay for refuse. But we can't, because there isn't room. 2.5 is killing us at the moment. In 6 years' time, this is going to look like an easy budget. This is going to look like we're rolling in dough, because inflation is taking away from what we can put in. Costs are rising, again, because of inflation, and we are at our limit already. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Do we have any communications? Just a few.
We received communications from the following. Jane Fox Dobson requesting pursuit of cost-saving measures and alternative funding strategies without increasing taxes. Carol McMahon in opposition to the public health nurse position reduction. Lauren King, Fishing Partnership New Bedford, regarding opposition to cuts to public health nurse. Specific to the school budget, in opposition to cuts, the following Gloucester residents: Michael Tellis, Eileen Little, Yolanda Testaverde, Michael Monroe, Andrea Liakos, Nicole Thompson, Maria Tarby, Cole Lundquist, Carrie-Ann Gallant, Marcy Sidlowski, Erin Quinn, Vivian Corrado, Deb Tellep, Deanna Benjamin, Michael Tells again, and Leslie Davison. The following Gloucester High School students, graduates, and teachers: Alexis Geary, Sophia Silveria, Ray Guelli, Elizabeth Landegren, Leah Carlson, Julianne Taggart, Samuel LeGrande, Kyla Snell, Will Johnson, Ava Hall McDougall, Milo Aberly, Jude Zuter, Cruz Viator, Franklin Gomez, Charles Schindler, Julia R. Sanfilippo, Casey Silva, Dave Adams, a retired music director at GHS, Brandon Blatchford, Sylvie Bell Casnet, Kyle Hurd, Anita Rose Burns, Brandon Peavy, Olivia Madruga, Mason Anderson, Dylan Rochford, Timothy Rose, teacher, Evelyn Watson, Rosie Tellep, Muhammad Raymond, Eliana Saluski, Alina Brown, Katie Knudsen, school adjustment counselor, Jordan Burke, teacher, Hannah Sherlock, Sean Kilroy, Alice Joshi, Amos Tellep, Zelda McKean, Harrison McKean, Andrew Barbagallo, Maria Alamo, Nathan Gorman Mello, Charlotte James. The following Cape Ann community members: Melissa LaRoque, Sean Lyons, an employee at a Gloucester business, Ben Joyce, Essex, Bill Elwell, Rockport, Jack McGordy, Gloucester business owner, Josh Pregent, Gloucester business owner, Stephanie Legrand, and for the following whose residence was not provided: Joelle Quirk, Nikki Taylor, Lucas Alves, Kike Andrade, Augustus Davis, Riley King, and Paige Carambio. These were all communications received by the deadline for submission of communications to be read into the public hearing.
Thank you. I'm going to just close the public hearing if that's okay with everybody. You have questions? Okay, questions from councilors?
We have questions.
Councilor Grow.
We've heard a lot of really poignant testimony tonight. Ask the mayor or representative to maybe address some of the issues that have been brought up tonight, and maybe tell us whether or not in the next week, before we make our votes on the 16th, there will be any effort or any room to find any movement in terms of revenue projections or in terms of allocation of resources to the schools. What say you?
Hi, Kelly Dolan. We don't have any other alternatives at this point for you for the balanced budget.
So there's no desire to look at the estimation of revenues or anything moving forward?
We absolutely can, if you want us to. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, we would like you to.
Yes, we will do that. And how would you like us to communicate that before next week?
Through the clerk's office to the council president.
Okay, we'll do.
Great. And one last other question, not necessarily for you, but maybe for the mayor this time. We are at the point where a Prop 2.5 override is not even optional. We, as Barnaby has pointed out, we are looking at the precipice of no longer being able to raise enough money to fund the city in a meaningfully proper way. would you support efforts, if you had community support, towards a Prop 2.5 override this year? And if we could, with that in mind, think about allocating resources to the schools after it was passed.
Well, from a practical standpoint, we have to deliver a balanced budget to the state in about 2 weeks. So a vote of the voters in Gloucester is just not going to happen this year. What happens next year, we're going to start right away as soon as we finish this budget and we enter into the fiscal year of 2027, we are going to start doing the budget for 2028. And at that time, we will collectively, not just the mayor, but we will collectively decide whether or not going to the voters for more revenue is something that we should do as a community. And it will be the people's choice. So we certainly support putting that to the people, but the first step we're going to have to do is construct the budget for 2028 and see what we really need for revenue.
Councilor Benson.
Thank you. Mayor, my question for you specifically is where else could we say that are not essential services could have been cut, that could have gone instead to the schools? We've heard different conversations tonight, and I appreciate all of those suggestions, and we should be exploring them. But do you think there could have been anything that was non-essential into this budget that could have been cut, that could have gone to the schools?
As I mentioned earlier, we went department by department, as did you, and examined every job, every expense, and we came up with the budget that we did. Not just the school budget, but every department has a plan that requires more money. There's just no question about it. That's just the nature of things. And we work together to try and make that work. You know, I'm a member of the school committee, and I am going to work very hard with the school, my fellow members in the school committee and the management, the superintendent, to make the money work. And I don't see any surplus in anybody's budget, not in the schools, not in the fire department, not in the police department. There aren't too many other departments of size that we could get any significant money for. So we will do all the things that you suggest, but we have what we have, and that's what we're facing together. And if we think we want more revenue from the taxpayers, we'll do that together as well.
Councilman Majota.
To piggyback on what Councilman Benson said, as you met with all the department managers, whether it was DPW, police, fire, ambulance, there had to be conversations where I guess they had a budget in mind that probably could not have been reached. Were those conversations done with the department heads?
Yes. Yes, department head by department head, we went through their budget line by line, job by job, made sure that those were jobs that we needed, and some were cut. Yes, that's how we do it.
Thank you.
Councilor Page.
Thank you. To look at the city side, I know there were some cuts made, and there were, if I worked through all this correctly, 5 positions that won't be funded this year. To look at the school side, it looks like there's quite a few more positions that they'll have to eliminate. On the surface, it appears that the schools were more drastically underfunded than the city side. Can you give some light to that?
So I'm not sure how you're measuring drastically.
Well, I'm looking at five positions in the city are going to be eliminated, I understand, are not funded. And it looks like there's, 24 positions in the school that won't be funded. It appears to the public that the school is being harder hit, taking a more cut than the city side. We're just wondering, some people are wondering why there wasn't a better balance there. That's all.
First of all, I would say there is a balance. The school department as a department is way bigger than any other department. We have over 500 employees in the school department. We have 70 in the fire department. So the relative relationship between the departments is is a different balance. So if we're thinking about how do we compare sacrifices departments made, I would say that probably on a percentage basis, pretty much the same. Secondly, and as I said when I presented tonight, the number in the mayor's budget is a single number for the schools. The jobs that were identified to be cut were done by the superintendent. I have asked the superintendent to please go back to the drawing board, look at those jobs, why not some other jobs, why not other areas that wouldn't be as impactful as we've heard tonight. And we haven't quite heard back from him yet. We're meeting tomorrow night, and we're going to get a budget update, and hopefully we'll have some answers.
Can we interject just to have our CFO showcase? So I think I understand what your question is. So do you mind if I just have him come up to showcase?
No, I'm always welcome to hear from Connor.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that.
Sorry, I just made this on the fly, so it's not going to look good. This little chart to the right here, column F, shows what departments originally submitted to us. Column G is what wound up in the mayor's proposed budget. So you can see general government got a reduction of 6.71% from their level funding, public safety 4.85, education 1.85, and so on. Education is actually the smallest reduction from their level service request. And it's 8.55 positions that were cut from the city side.
Thank you so much.
Connor, could you share that spreadsheet with us? Thanks.
Council Benson.
For the administration, again, a question regarding, and I've learned a little bit from school committee members, and I may not be getting my question completely correct, but what percent of the pie of Chapter 70 money that comes into the city is going to the schools? How much of that is going to the schools versus going into the general fund? We heard some conversations earlier this evening regarding, for example, other money that comes in, and so much of it's just what percent of that pie is going to the schools?
Well, it all has to go to the general fund.
Okay.
So everything goes into general fund, which is fund number 1.
Yep.
And the entirety of Chapter 70 goes to the schools.
Okay.
And then there is additional that's appropriated above that.
Okay.
Done?
One other question, if I may, for the administration too. What could we look at? Have we entertained at all any other fees that we could have increased or could increase in the future? Could we look at maybe increasing the parking? I understand this may not be completely popular, but we haven't increased parking fees for many years. And I'm the first to say I want to support downtown businesses as well, and I think there's ways to maybe offset it, and the previous administration didn't reduce free parking on Main Street for the Christmas and holiday season. But is there any other fee, like could that help us in the future?
The only other fee we haven't looked at this point, as someone mentioned during the public hearing, is the resident beach sticker fee.
Okay.
You just have to remember the volume of those is lower. So 5,000, we sell about 12,000 of them a year. I'd say 5,000 are traditional residents who pay $20. The other, the delta of that is a senior who pays $5 for 5 years.
And how much do we bring? Can you say how much we bring in right now with that 20?
I don't know the number off the top of my head. Right. Even if you doubled it, you're talking another $100,000, $150,000. It's not, anything helps, but it doesn't move the needle.
It doesn't move the needle. No.
So last year we went through pretty much every fee in the city. All the ones that really moved the needle increased last year.
Thank you.
As you may remember, you voted on almost every fee increase in the city in the past year in anticipation of these times coming. All right, I'm going to close the public hearing. Thank you, everyone.
Can we make a motion?
Not done.
for 5 minutes?
Mr. President, can you let people know what is happening in terms of the voting next week?
So we will be voting on this budget next Tuesday, June 16th.
Can we make a motion for a 5-minute recess? I'd like to make a motion for a 5-minute recess.
5-minute recess.
Probably about half an hour.
Patty, we're not finished. Oh my gosh, what do you mean? I did the same thing.
Next order of business, Madam Clerk.
Public hearing 2026, number 11, special council permit 2026, number 3, the application of Gloucester, Maine LLC to construct a mixed-use residential development, including 40 residential units and retail and/or restaurant space, GZO sections 1.8.3, standard to be applied, 1.10.1, jurisdiction of the City Council and Zoning Board of Appeals, subsection A, City Council, 3.2.2, dimensional requirement, accessory uses other than signs, footnote A, minimum lot area per dwelling unit or minimum open space per dwelling unit, 2.3.1, residential uses, subsection 8, conversion to or new multifamily or apartment dwelling, 7 or more dwelling units, 3.1.6b, building heights in excess of 35 feet, and 5.7.5, special permit criteria, major project at Main Street number 150, map 8, lot 64 in the CB and CCD district.
All right, this is continued from April 28th, continued to July 14th, 2026. Next order of business, Madam Clerk.
Public hearing 2026, number 15, a petition to the City Council to accept and lay out a public way of Deacon Farm Lane.
All right, this is continued from May 12th, 2026, continued to July 14th, 2026. Next order of business.
For council vote, correction of Scrivener's error of the April 22nd, 2026 Planning and Development Standing Committee minutes regarding the committee recommendation for SCP 2026 number 4, correction of Scrivener's error of the May 12th, 2026 City Council minutes regarding the motion for SCP 2026 number 4, and correction of Scrivener's error of the May 12th, 2026 City Council minutes regarding the narrative for Beachland Avenue.
Thank you.
Councilor Groh.
I'd like to make a motion to I move to amend the April 22nd, 2026 Planning and Development Standing Subcommittee minutes by deleting maintain and adding increase in the last sentence of the committee recommendation for Special Council Permit 2026-004. In the May 12th, 2026 City Council minutes, delete main and add increase in the last sentence of the motion. I'm sorry, what did I say? Maintain, thank you. Delete maintain and add increase in the last sentence of the motion for Special Council Permit 2026-004. Am I just reading the same thing again? It's okay. We'll get it there. In the May 12, 2026 City Council minutes pertaining to number 2 Beachland Avenue open air parking permit, amend the narrative by striking the current narrative and adding, quote, this public hearing was not opened and the matter was referred back to the Planning and Development Committee for further review, unquote. And I so move.
Motion made by Councilor Groh, seconded by Councilor Benson. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, 8-0, 1 absent. You're up again, Councilor Groh.
Yep, the next one is a decision to adopt Special Council Permit 2026-004. The application, excuse me just a moment. Why is that the same number as the one we just did? This one here.
Oh, yeah, it should be 002. No, that's true. Yes.
We just check the correct Special Council Permit on that one. Story Road, number 35. So it's number 2?
Number 4.
We just corrected Special Council Permit 2026-004 with the minutes.
Right.
So one of these is wrong.
No, we were correcting so in this decision, there's a note in the decision saying that it should have said increase, not maintain. So the council is voting on the decision tonight. The minutes leading up to that decision were also corrected tonight.
Okay. These are 2 different permits. The motion we just corrected was for 2 Beachland Avenue.
Jason, I think they're different committees. They're probably
They are
at the
not.
same
They're special
number?
council permit 2026-004. So one of these is wrong.
So the special council permit number 4, the
Yes.
application.
Yes.
Give me one moment. There's a footnote in special council permit decision 2026-004. It says a scrivener's error in the motion referred to maintenance of an existing building height of 50.9 feet. And so in this decision, it was corrected to...
I'm good with that. That's fine. But
Okay.
what does number 2 Beachlight Avenue open air parking permit have to do with that I just read in the motion?
We were just consolidating. There were a number of errors in the minutes, scrivener's errors, and so we were just cleaning those up.
Talk to me like I'm 5. I'm sorry. I apologize. It did not make sense to me that we had them separated. I apologize. Very good. Now we'll get back to the regularly scheduled programming. I move to adopt the decision for special council permit SCP 2026-004, Dory Road, number 35, map 263, lot 30, for a building expansion in the business park district, and I so move.
Second. Motion made by Councilor Gross, seconded by Councilor Majota. Discussion.
I clearly need more caffeine before we have meetings.
All those in favor?
Roll call.
Aye.
Wait. So,
Roll
excuse me.
call.
A roll call vote. All right. Councilor Kimberly.
Yes.
Councilor Majota.
Yes.
Councilor Memhard.
Aye.
Councilor Page.
Aye.
Councilor Benson.
Aye.
Councilor Grace.
Aye.
Councilor Gross.
Aye.
Councilor Grow.
Aye.
Vote is 8 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 absent. The motion passes.
Okay. Again, Councilor Grow.
We got one more. Was the decision to adopt special council permit 2026-002, the application of Seaside Legal Solutions PC on behalf of owner Brian Pollard, Mark Pollard, trustee, Sergeant Street, number 35, number 37, number 37R, map 28, lot 135, 136, and 137. GZO sections 1.8.3, standard to be applied 2.3.17, conversion to or new multifamily or apartment dwelling, 4 to 6 dwelling units, 3.2.2, footnote A, minimum lot area per dwelling unit and minimum open space per dwelling unit to convert the existing two-family structure to a multifamily structure with 6 dwellings in the R5 district. So I move to adopt the decision for special council permit special council permit 2026-002, Sergeant Street, number 35, number 37, 37R, map 28, lots 135, 136, and 137 for the conversion of an existing two-family structure to a multifamily structure with 6 dwelling units in the R5 district. And I so move.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Gross, seconded by Councilor Majota. Discussion. Roll call.
Councilor Kimberly.
Yes.
Councilor Majota.
Yes.
Councilor Memhard.
Aye.
Councilor Page.
Aye.
Councilor Benson.
Aye.
Councilor Grace.
Aye.
Councilor Gross.
Aye.
Councilor Grow.
Aye.
The vote is 8 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 absent. The motion passes.
Okey doke. Next order of business.
Councilor's request to the mayor.
Councilor Kimberly.
I have no request at this time.
Councilor Majota.
I just want to thank everyone that showed up. It was good to see the community get together. And I did speak to those 2 people who spoke earlier today about speeding on Washington Street and Jersey barrier. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Memhard.
I would just like to follow up on my legislative aide, Marianne Albert Boucher, and her comments about the granite step by the porta potties on Niles Beach. And this has been an ongoing issue since last season, and it does create a hazard for people to walk on that busy stretch of road behind the cars in order to get to the porta potties. They're really just, it's a simple solution, I think. I don't know why the DPW wouldn't be able to address that in a way so that people can access the porta potties simply and safely from the beach at that end by Niles. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Page.
No requests, thank you.
Okay, Councilor Benson.
Thank you. A couple of things.
Thank you.
Oh, what? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Just kidding. Okay, I was just but so a couple of things. Some constituents have been texting me, and we're trying to figure out if EcoShield, which is a pest control, if they have legitimate like a permit to go knocking on doors. They've specifically been knocking on Ward 2 doors. That's a question that I have, and I'm going to bring that forward. Also, the trash issue that was discussed tonight, and looking at a tier system for especially for our seniors as well, and also an ongoing rat issue up on Perkins Street, Perkins Peak, the trash up at the Gloucester crossing. This has been an ongoing issue since I've been on the council, and hopefully they can fix and rectify this ongoing issue that is causing rodents. And also continued issues on that path on Perkins Peak of motorbikes, motorcycles, so many folks going through there that are not allowed to. That's a pedestrian-only path. I'd like to see what further action Sam Park will take to make sure that those folks are not going through there, and making sure that it is a pedestrian-only path. And also the shopping carts that are all over town. I'd like to see what plans would, say, Market Basket and others have to prevent them from leaving the crossing or leaving a parking lot, or we will look at an ordinance around that if there isn't rectification in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Jason, sorry, Councilor Groh.
I totally understand, absolutely, that you would. I want to first off publicly apologize to Grace for ever doubting you.
That's right, you should be penalized.
I should be penalized, and I will take my 2 minutes in the sin bin. I apologize. I should have been reading a little more carefully. You were always right. Secondly, just remind everybody that we have a site visit at 8 a.m. on Saturday the 14th. Saturday the 13th. See, I can't even get a date right. Saturday the 13th, 11 Dory Road at Applied Materials, 8 a.m. We're going to take a look at the site for the height exception that they're looking for. Well, it's the Gloucester Engineering site, but it's 11 Dory Road. Sorry? Wear closed, yeah, wear appropriate clothing. We're going to be out on a rough site, so don't wear sandals. Wear flip-flops.
President?
I'll see you on Saturday.
Councilor Grace, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
What happened?
Thank you. I know your real feelings now. My request is I think we need to put more of an emphasis on prioritizing enforcement of our ordinances, particularly when it comes to speeding cars, cars parked illegally, cars parked on sidewalks. Paramount is safety, but the secondary caveat would be revenue, and both things are equally as important in this community, and I really think we need to emphasize and prioritize the need to enforce our ordinance, because it is ridiculous that we spend so much time, effort, and money writing ordinances and going through the whole process only to have them not being enforced. I'm done.
All right, sorry. I apologize to both Councilor Groh and Councilor Grace.
Pardon me?
All right, now, is everybody all set?
If you put me in charge of enforcement, yes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Groh, seconded by Councilor Page. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it, 8-0, 1 absent.
Thank you.